close your eyes for a moment and imagine building a shiny, high-speed metro system right under a desert city. Not just for locals, but to show the world how rich, modern, and powerful your country is. That's exactly what Qatar did. In the years before the 2022 FIFA World Cup, Qatar started one of its biggest projects ever, the Doha Metro, and especially the Gold Line, a sleek, fast, and expensive underground train route. It wasn't just about getting people from one place to another, it was about making a statement, a symbol of wealth, progress, and global ambition. And it cost around $36 billion. But now, 2 years after the World Cup, something feels off. The metro still runs, the stations still sparkle, but where are all the people? Why are the trains mostly empty? And was all this money really worth it? Was this Qatar's vision of the future, or just a very expensive way to impress the world? Let's find out. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more real stories behind the world's biggest ideas. The big dream. Why Qatar built the metro. Qatar didn't just want to be seen as another rich country in the Gulf. It wanted to prove that it could do more. Host big international events, lead with modern technology, and build for the future. The 2022 FIFA World Cup gave Qatar the perfect chance to show this to the world. So the country started building new stadiums, hotels, roads, and most importantly, a fast and modern public transport system. That's how the Doha Metro came to life. It was designed to be quick, clean, and fully automatic, helping people move easily around the city. One key part of this system was the Gold Line, which runs from east to west across Doha. It was made to connect big stadiums, busy neighborhoods, and famous places like museums and markets. It was supposed to carry fans between matches, tourists to landmarks, and locals to work or school. On paper, it all sounded perfect, like a big step toward a smarter, better city. What is the Gold Line? The Gold Line is one of the most important parts of the Doha Metro system. It runs all the way from Ras Bu Abood in the east to Al Azizia in the west, cutting across the heart of the city. Along the way, it stops at 11 stations, including some very well-known places. You can get off at the National Museum of Qatar, explore the markets at Souk Waqif, or change trains at Mashareb, which is the main central station. It also stops near stadiums at Al Sudan and Sport City, which were key during the World Cup. What makes the Gold Line even more impressive is that it's built fully underground. The trains are driverless, the ticket system is high-tech, and the stations are designed to look modern and welcoming. Despite its size and complexity, it was built very quickly and officially opened to the public in November 2019. How much did it cost? The Doha Metro system cost around $36 billion in total, and a big part of that money went into building the Gold Line. It wasn't a small task. The work involved digging through tough desert rock, bringing in high-tech driverless trains all the way from Japan, and designing luxury stations that look more like airports than train stops. The project also needed specially trained staff and advanced safety systems to make sure everything ran smoothly. Thousands of workers were hired, and the construction took several years to finish. Even with all the challenges, it became one of the fastest-built metro systems in the world. On the outside, it looked like a huge success. But now that the World Cup is over and the daily crowds are gone, people are starting to wonder, was it all done too quickly? Was the price too high for what the city actually needed? The questions still hang in the air. The metro during the World Cup. During the 2022 FIFA World Cup, the Doha Metro, especially the Gold Line, was seen as a major success. Every day it carried hundreds of thousands of fans from all over the world. The trains were packed, the stations were busy, and everything ran on time. Visitors praised it for being clean, safe, and very easy to use. It helped people get to stadiums, hotels, fan zones, and tourist spots without much trouble. Even with such huge crowds in the city, the metro system helped keep things organized and calm. For that 1 month, it felt like Qatar had truly proven itself. The metro worked exactly as planned and became one of the highlights of the tournament. It was a big moment of pride for the country. But once the World Cup ended and the fans went home, everything changed. The busy trains became quiet, and people started to wonder, what happens to this system now? The drop after the hype. After the World Cup was over, everything changed. The big crowds were gone. The loud, busy stations became quiet. The trains still arrived on time every few minutes, but most of them were nearly empty. Outside of rush hour, it's not unusual to see trains with only a few passengers on board. Some stations feel almost abandoned during the day. People started to ask, what happened? Why did such a massive and expensive metro system lose its riders so quickly? Was it just built for one event? Or is it simply not useful enough for daily life in Doha right now? 5 big problems. Here are the 5 main issues facing the Doha Metro Gold Line today. Underused post-World Cup. The metro was packed during the tournament, but now daily ridership has dropped. With fewer tourists and no major events, it often runs empty. Overbuilt for population size. Qatar has a small population, around 3 million people. A large high-speed metro system might be too much for such a small country, especially when many still use cars. High maintenance costs. The trains, stations, and systems are advanced but expensive. Keeping everything running smoothly will cost millions each year, and ticket sales may not cover that. Economic risk. Most of the funding came from oil and gas money, but with global energy prices going up and down, relying on that income is risky. The metro could become a long-term burden. Prestige over practicality. Some critics say the metro was built more to impress the world than to serve local needs. It looks good in photos, but was it really needed? What do locals think? Many people in Qatar actually like the metro. They say it's clean, fast, and good for certain trips, especially when going to popular places like shopping malls or big events. But still, most locals prefer driving their cars. That's just part of the culture in Qatar. It's easy to drive, fuel is cheap, and many people are used to having their own space on the road. Some residents also feel the metro stations are too far from where they live or work. They say it's not helpful if you still need a long walk or a taxi to get to the station. Others believe the system would work better if it had stronger links with buses, taxis, or ride apps, making the journey smoother from start to finish. Even with these problems, the government is still hopeful. They believe that with time, more people will start using the metro every day. But it's still a work in progress. A tool for the future? Even with all the current issues, the Gold Line might still be a smart move in the long run. Qatar is not standing still. The country is growing, and new places like Lusail City are bringing in more people, businesses, and homes. As the population rises, having a good metro system could become more important. Also, Qatar wants to protect the environment. Using the metro means fewer cars on the road, which helps reduce air pollution. This goal is parts of Qatar's big plan called the Qatar National Vision 2030. This plan is about building a better future with cleaner cities, smarter transport, less dependence on oil, and more tourism from around the world. So even if the metro doesn't seem busy today, it might still play a big role tomorrow. With the right changes and more growth, the Gold Line could become something that helps both the people and the planet in the years ahead. Was it all just for image? Some people believe the Doha Metro, especially the Gold Line, was made more to impress the world than to help everyday life. It looks great in videos, works smoothly, and during the World Cup, it proved that Qatar could build world-class projects. But once the event ended and the cameras were gone, the real picture became clear. A shiny metro can't fix deeper problems like high living costs, lack of affordable housing, or unequal opportunities. That's why many are now asking, was this metro really built for the people of Qatar, or was it just for international image and pride? Looking ahead, the Doha Metro isn't finished yet. New lines are being planned, more stations are on the way, and better links to buses and other transport are in the works. There's still hope. If Qatar can help people change their daily habits, make stations easier to reach, and grow the city in smart ways, the Gold Line might become a big part of everyday life. But if those changes don't happen, it risks being remembered as just a beautiful, expensive project. Something that looked good for a short time, but didn't really help most people in the long run. Final thoughts. Qatar built the Doha Metro Gold Line to show the world what it's capable of. And during the World Cup, it really did shine. The trains ran smoothly, the stations were full, everything worked just as planned. But now, just 2 years later, things look different. The trains are almost empty, the crowds are gone, and people are starting to ask, was it really worth $36 billion? Was this a smart plan for the future? Or was it just built to look good on camera? Maybe time will answer that question, but one thing's for sure. Qatar dared to dream big. And whether you agree with it or not, the Gold Line is one of the boldest projects the country has ever taken on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy stories about big dreams, huge risks, and what they really mean, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We've got more eye-opening stories coming your way. See you in the next one.